Hello, this is Daniel from Sound Headquarters. This is the third part, the final installment of our build for Adriano Aliverdi. He's a platinum producer from the Toronto area. Here's a little sneak peek of what we did for him in his studio here. And this episode, we're going to be going over panel installation and just all the finishing touches we did here in the diffuser. And yeah, let's get into it. So here we're getting the panels installed. We use flush mount hangers. I'll put all the info on the screen and in the description as well. But basically what we're doing here is we're marking out all of our panels to sit at the same height as where that 1x4 trim finishes across the whole room so that the height is consistent with all the panels around the room. And we're just getting our mark there, tracing with our flush mount, drilling for the drywall anchors. And in this case, we actually hit stud. So instead of using the anchors for this mount, we just drilled straight into the stud, use the hammer to adjust. And then now we're putting the opposite flush mount hanger on the panel. And this is all just centered to the panel. And our panels are centered to that gap between the casing of the mirror frame and the base trap there. And yeah, just getting that hung up. And then just some little tweaking. Sometimes you have to tighten the flush mount. You kind of have to hammer them a little bit tighter of a fit sometimes just to get the better adjustment to make sure your panel is level. So we got that one up, and now we're going to get this one here. We're working our way around the room. So just same process, measuring out, making sure everything's consistent between all the other panels height-wise, making sure that our measurements are correct before we drill, getting those our drywall anchors in, get the flush mount in, get the flush mount in on the panel, and then you're ready to hang it. So here we are. We're just measuring this section of the wall is actually where this client's going to have his plaques. So we're just measuring out where we're putting a horizontal panel here to give some drywall space for his plaques here. There we go. And now we're marking out the hanger for the actual plaque. Now this plaque is quite heavy, so we just used one of the same flush mount hangers that we use to hang our panels. And each of these anchors is rated at 45 pounds, so 2 of these anchors is more than enough to hold the panels and this plaque as well. So just helping Adriano there get his plaque set up there. Super cool. And then the rest of the space is for the other plaques once they come in. So here we are working on the front wall, and we're just getting our vertical pieces of trim in, which is where we mounted our panels. And then we did the diagonal trim, which you saw in my previous video. We did the diagonal trim in between all the spaces of the vertical trim, just to create a really cool pattern and to give some more wood tone and a little bit of diffusion. It's more for aesthetics than anything, but it turned out really cool, and this is how we did it. So we're getting all of our verticals in. We're doing 3 vertical bars for each panel, which will be pretty much hidden by the panels. So we're just getting those in there, and you can see that we added the flush mount hangers to the top of the vertical trim. So we're just getting all those in there, and then we will test fit all of the front wall panels. And we did all this before we did the custom trim work in the previous video. So here on this day, I had my daughters helping me out, and when I was upholstering the clouds, so they're just getting to help me out there with the stapler. It's really fun. All right, so here the client wanted to block out this window, so I built a frame that's the exact size of the window casing, and right here I'm just test fitting. And here I want, like, give or take 1/8 of an inch of wiggle room in all directions here on this frame, because once we upholster with the fabric, that little 1/8 of an inch will make it so it just press fits right into that window casing. And here we are, we're gonna get this panel, the rear upholstery done, and just getting that stapled on, trim off the excess. Same process as all my other panels. The only difference is this particular frame wasn't routed. It doesn't have the 45-degree edge on it, just because this was just for blocking out the light in the window. And for safety reasons, this is totally removable. It's not permanent. If anything were to happen and Adriano needed to get out of the studio by the window, it's totally possible. So here we are just shimming the diffuser to make sure it's totally level before we start working on the frame. And I'll do a separate video of diffuser builds and diffuser installs in a later series. Here we're just showing more of what we did on the rear wall of his studio here. So just test fitting the frame, and once the test fit is good, we're ready for the finish. Now, Adriano wanted just a clear, like a clear coat. We did a satin finish on this frame, and you can see it going on there. Just a nice treatment for the wood and keep that natural look to have contrast against the black paint on the diffuser. And just to add more of a wood element into the room as well. So we're just getting that all sprayed, 2 coats. We'll let that dry, and then we'll get that on the diffuser. So this is one of the things we did for Adriano as well. Here we put up curtains in front of his big glass mirrors here for his closet. Now he's gonna have storage and some clothes and stuff in that cavity in the closet there. That'll help acoustically as well. But as we know, glass is one of the most reflective surfaces in our room, so we just put up this simple curtain rod and theater style curtains up on to cover those glass mirrors there. So there we go, that's all up. And now we're ready to put this diffuser frame on. And this is where we just need to go slow and make sure that the fitment is correct. And yeah, it's just a game of just press fit, make sure that we don't push too hard or anything, and just tapping it in gently until it's flush against the wall. And what's great with the way of doing the framing on the diffuser like this is that it completely hides the mount. And it's also, once this frame is on and it touches the wall, you can just pick the whole diffuser up by the frame. And everything's all positioned that you could put it back on the wall with the French cleat the exact way as it is. So if you ever do need to take your diffuser off the wall, you can just take it right off. And yeah, it looks nice and seamless with the frame like this. Hides all the mounting. And yeah, just getting Adriano in here to check it out. It's all done.
Finish too. It's like,
and really cool. He was super happy with how this all turned out, and so was I. Really
exactly.
cool.
Just kind of give it like that amber, almost like a exactly.
All right, let's see what we get into here.
Sick, dude.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, bro. We did it.
Okay.
So here's a final shot before we got all the gear set up in the room. You can see the clouds that we did there, 3 mixed position clouds to make one 6x4 foot cloud over his whole mixed position. All of his sidewall panels, his rear wall panels, and the black crushed velvet, black diffuser with the natural frame, and left some room for him to put up some of his own decorations and his other plaques that are coming in. And here's a little clip of all of the gear in the room with his desks and his desk and his synth and his monitors, all the gear. Super, super cool. Really, really happy with how this job turned out. It was awesome working with Adriano. He's a great guy, great producer, super talented. And this was really fun to do, and I'm really excited to show you guys all the other jobs that we got going on. This is the first job that we did as the YouTube series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Sound Headquarters, this is Daniel. Peace out.